All right, welcome to the Eric Tries Too Hard podcast. Today we have Brad, Joy, Marysa, and James is going to join us in a little bit. So how's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay. I'm glad Joy's camera's working, because then we can have all these visual gags on the audio podcast.
I only have my drag on for this.
Well, I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with Joy because right before we started, you let us know you had kind of a late night last night. You were playing a club.
Yeah, I've done 3 nights at Miss D's Comedy Club in Jacksonville, Florida. So, yeah, that's the eyes are red. A little bit tired. Been here all week, left from Salt Lake, and now I'm in Florida, and I have a date in New York, and then back to Salt Lake, and then one in California.
Jeez. All right, that's pretty sweet. Are you are you featuring? What's your where are you on the bill?
I was featuring the 3 nights in Jacksonville, and I am opening in New York.
Nice. Yeah. Any whatever big household name type things you're opening up for?
Any type, excuse me?
Who are you opening up for?
Oh, it's the part of the Veterans for Veterans comedy tour that I was doing. It's me, G. Rich, Mac Page, and Brandy Houston. And actually, during this trip turned out to be really good because we actually got a DJ. We hired a DJ for the rest of our events, and we also got Mr. David Emanuel on board. So we're rounding out the bill for the rest of our tour this year.
Nice. Are there any interesting or crazy stories from the past couple dates that you've been doing?
Yo, the last time I talked to you, at Williams debacle, and I told you about his crazy ass. This is the first time this has ever happened. I was excited about coming to Jacksonville. I used to teach kindergarten here. I used to teach school here, so I was excited to be back. I hadn't been back in about a year. And I got here, and the thing about it was, it was just to see black people. I'm sorry. When you live in Salt Lake, there's no spokesman for all black women. And when I had a radio show there, they introduced me as one of the only black women in Utah. And I'm like tripping on it. And I told them stop. And they were like, no, you are really one of the only black women in Utah. And I was like, there got to be more. And they're like, no. It's just you. So I'm like, okay. So every time I do their radio, they bring that up, and it's annoying. But I come to Jacksonville. I'm excited to be back in Jacksonville and see some of my folks and see just black people going to the hood, looking for the weed man, even though I don't smoke weed.
Just for the experience.
I'm happy to go back to Jacksonville and find the guy that steals the meat for you for your barbecues. That's what I'm excited about. And I get to Jacksonville. I do my first night. Everything's cool. I go to do my second night at the club, and
You're right.
Okay, I do my second night at the club, and I mean, true story. I'm about to go on stage. I'm standing in the hall about to go on stage, and this guy starts flirting with me. And he says, hey, are you got somebody? I said, yeah. He goes, it don't matter. I'm going to try to talk to you anyway. I'm like, hey, what up? I'm literally waiting to go on stage. I'm like waiting in the rafters, and he goes, yeah, I'm from Philadelphia. What's up? Da-da-da-da. And I'm like, dude, yo, it's not even that serious. Leave me alone, bruh. And no sooner he said, I'm going to try to take you out. And I was like, this never going to happen, bruh. Never. Mind you, I'm waiting for my cue to hit the stage. Not 2 seconds later, this booger wolf turns the corner and goes, she's a booger wolf. turns the corner and goes, "Don't you talk to my husband. That's my husband." I said, "That's what I said. Congratulations, you can have him. I don't know him and I don't want him. Really? Is that what we doing today?" And she was like, "I'm just letting you know, I'm his wife. So I don't know why you even talking to him." I said, yo, listen, chick, yo, stop. I don't want him. I don't know him. Leave me the fuck alone because I got stuff to do. I'm just letting you know that's my husband. I said, okay, listen. And I said, congratulations. You and this drunk skunk can go do whatever you want to do, but leave me the hell alone. I don't care. So I go to walk off. And then she did what you don't do to black women, which is put your hand up in my face. I don't know who told her that was hot, and that's what you
Brad,
do.
can you verify that? Can you fact check that?
That's very true.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, all of my set that I was about to do flew out the window, and I had to turn to former military, former correction officer. I will whoop your ass, Joy. And I told her, I said, this weed is detachable, and so are these shoes, and I will drag your ass in front of this club and not make my money, but you won't be worth that $150 ass whooping. So everybody running outside. And one of the comics is fighting. I wasn't fighting. I was minding my business. And that's what happened. I mean, that's the craziest thing that happened. The night before last.
That's insane. Wait, hold on. There's one thing I just wanted to go back to touch on. You said there is a designated person in the hood who steals the meat for the barbecue?
Oh, hell yeah. You see, you're not from the hood.
No, that's correct. You know what? Your assessment, correct.
I mean, I was born and raised in New Jersey, but I lived in the nice part. I lived in Plainfield, which is kind of like the colonial part, houses and stuff. But I've lived in Jacksonville, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, Baltimore, Maryland. I've lived in Brooklyn, New York. I've lived in Chicago. So in every hood, a real fucking hood, you can find somebody, you tell them, hey, I'm having a barbecue. I need you to steal this much meat for me from Walmart and give them some money. And they'll go steal it.
Yo, this fell off the back of the cow. Just, you know.
But that's the truth. The only thing you got to look out for is to make sure none of the plastic's ripped, because when they seal it, they usually stick it down their pants. So if plastic's
That's called quality control.
And you don't want that. Make sure the plastic.
All right, well, so I want to introduce James, James Boss, to this is Brad, Joy, and Marysa.
Hi, nice to meet you all.
Hello.
James writes and works for a music website that I also work for called Babetalk, which the name of that website went so many different directions that it now has nothing to do with music. It's the most confusing thing. So James, what is the most interesting thing in your life right now?
Well, good or bad, because it's been a little interesting over here.
I mean, I know the answer to both of those just because I know you personally, but whatever you feel like disclosing, man.
I'm gonna be positive and talk about positive things. Once I think of what to talk about. It's been a long week. It's been a very long week. I think the most interesting thing that happened to me lately was I had to go to this concert last Monday in Brooklyn, and I had to interview 3 of the bands on the show, and it was just a giant shit show trying to get everything set up because, like, 2 of the bands wanted to be interviewed at the same time.
What? Oh, I got you.
One
like
of
the same time slot, not like just yell questions at us at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, you're breaking up, and that's gonna break my heart.
No.
I think I also, James, if you can hear me when you come back, tell us what the show is, because if it's the show I think of, it's really awesome. All right. So I've seen this happen a million times. He'll probably drop off and come back in a minute, so we'll move on and come back to him. So Marysa, what's the most interesting thing going on in your life right now?
Oh, the most interesting thing. Well, I'm creating a game show in Chicago right now. I'm like mid-game show.
Nice. So like
Yeah.
you're at the lightning round at this point.
Yeah, it premieres July 9th. It's called What the Hypnotics.
Nice. What? So could you describe it for us?
What it is, it's basically hip hop related. It has like, I'm gonna just throw out a question. We play a little clip, like let's say Miss Jackson from Outkast, so they're singing that, and we'll go to the part that says "I'm sorry, Miss Jackson," and then the question will be, "How would you make it up to Miss Jackson?" And you have to like it. So yeah.
That's fantastic. That's really cool. Oh, we are just dropping like flies. By the way, both of them are rebooting their computers. I got messages. Joy and James are back. I don't know why I even say this. It's the vast majority of people who listen to this, it's all audio. By the time they get back, no one's even going to notice. But I want to.
Right.
Okay, so that premise. So how do you do it in rounds, or is it that concept? Like you just keep coming up with ways of reinventing that concept.
It's me and 3 other writers and producers, and we legit went into like a tunnel to figure.
Yeah.
It's like rounds and categories, and there's questions in the categories, and we have a rap battle that we added in the end, and then our final round is you have to make up your own rap. You have 4 bars that you have to do, and you have to pick up your own rap lyric, song, or whatever.
Nice. So that's really cool. So where are you hosting this?
It's going to be at the Playground Theater in Chicago.
Nice. And how is it like a weekly thing? Is it something you're just trying once and you'll see? How is it scheduled?
Yeah, we're trying it once to see if it actually sounds as good as it does, and then we'll go from there.
That's awesome. Okay, do you have a date for that yet? Sorry, we probably even said it already.
No, you're fine. July 9th.
Okay, July 9th. I'll make sure this is up before then, because I have maybe 4 people from Chicago who listen to this podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, all right, that's really cool. Do you have any other examples? That Miss Jackson thing is really funny, and you have no idea how this meshes my love of hip hop, puns, and wordplay, and just game shows in general. How do you, like, any other examples of, like, interesting, I guess, types of rounds that you do or questions that you had?
There's one where it's called Make It or Break It, and one of my writers and producers made this, and it's where you have to try and, let's say, okay, explain how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And the other person in front of you is like your hype man, and he's just like screaming at you, and you have to try and finish how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without laughing.
Oh, okay, that's really cool. Wow, you guys, that's very cool.
Yep.
I should be more professional and just be like, okay, cool, and then move on. But I'm actually very, very impressed by that. That sounds like a great idea. I like that. That's really cool.
It sounds like very similar to like a Billy on the Street kind of game show, like very subjective and just like fun activities.
Right.
I like that.
I wonder if Chris Hardwick has inadvertently created an entire new genre of comedy, of just like game show comedy.
He might have.
But your idea, that was completely separate. Screw Chris Hardwick. No, I'm just yeah. Well, no, I do want to bridge that gap. Do you like the show at midnight? He doesn't watch the show. It's fine. Maybe Matt Meyer does. I don't know.
like it.
I love that show.
Yeah.
I love that show.
It's like I like it. I want to love it more than I do. But like, yeah, I do like the. I don't know. I love Chris Hardwick. I'm just trying to. This is how rigid my thinking is. I need it to be more objective. If you're going to do, like, I want the points to mean something, and that is clearly not what they're going for. Yeah. Anyway, I tried to pull at a thread there, and the thread came out, but then I just kept pulling, so nothing good came to that. All right, so James, tell us more about the show. Like, what were the bands, and how did you go about interviewing all of them?
The bands that I was interviewing were it's just touring those, the ongoing concept, Dayseeker and Outlands, and they're on this East Coast tour right now. And they played at the Place in Brooklyn, and I normally like two of the interviews I ended up getting done before the show, thankfully. And like I just did standard. I did an interview on the street, and then I did another interview in a van. But with the last interview, I had to wait until after the show, and the interview, and I had to wait for them to load in. And by the time I was doing the interview, it was about 11:30, and then I finished up around 12. Like, it was a 20-minute interview, so I had to, like, wait for an Uber because there was no taxis in the area. And by the time I got home, it was like 2 o'clock, and I had to get up at 6 for work.
Now, when you got to the show, was your hair just natural color? And then when you left the place in Brooklyn, that you just had to have your hair like that?
Wait, what?
I'm just making fun of hipsters, and I just imagine you came in looking completely just like natural, and then you walked out, and you're like, how the shit you got like skinny jeans on? And like,
Yes, that is exactly what happens.
By the way, where is that makeover show? Like, can we not do makeover shows anymore? Like, I'm obsessed with hipsters. I just want to have.
It's somewhere in Williamsburg, I'm sure. Somewhere.
It's, you know what? They filmed it years ago. You probably didn't even watch it. It was like really underground, and they didn't even use cameras. It's just really, don't even worry about it.
There's just a bunch of people in a warehouse somewhere. There's no cameras.
They didn't even actually have the show. They didn't even like do a makeover. They just existed and called it whatever they wanted 2 years later. Ugh.
Oh my god.
So James, what kind of music were those bands?
Heavy metal, metalcore.
So you're
was an Every Time I Die type band.
You are a very like relaxed person. You just seem very like every time I talk to you, it's just very matter of fact, happy-go-lucky, and then you're just like, yeah, my favorite bands are like Slaughter the Lamb's Face and like Inside Out, Flayed Man. It's like, all right. I have noticed that. Do you think that that's I actually I was about to say I read a study, but I didn't. I skimmed a study article title.
You read the abstract?
No, I didn't even read that. I just kind of. To be fair, I told myself I'd go back and read it probably. But there was a psych study done recently on if heavy music. The two hypotheses were: they're testing to see if it decreases, aggression, or if it increases aggression, or if it does nothing.
Okay, so the reason I got into this music was, I'm being dead serious here, was to basically piss my parents off when I was my parents hated this type of music, and they like made fun of like one of my close friends for liking it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to start listening to this music, and I'm going to be cool and rebel, and it just stuck. It stuck. It wasn't supposed to, and it just kind of stuck and shaped my career path, which
That's crazy.
I didn't expect to happen. Yeah, that's like. That's the main reason, basically. I got into it to rebel against my parents, and I like it. It's fun.
By the way, nice neck deep poster. I always like that album cover.
Yeah, I forgot I had.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I ruin your image?
I'm trying to be this aggressive, happy-go-lucky kid, and you're like spotting my neck deep poster. Yes. I have a Tonight Alive poster like right next to it off camera. That
you just interviewed Tonight Alive, right?
Yeah, that was weird. It was really fun, but it was really weird because it was something that I never thought would ever happen in a lifetime.
That was always when you posted it up. You're like, hey, you didn't even seem excited about it. You just seemed confused. You're like, I'm going to interview Tonight Alive? I don't know why they're letting me do that.
I was confused. I was like, wait, you're letting me talk to this big bands for this little site I work for. What? Why? I mean, it was amazing, and it was probably one of the best interviews I've ever done, honestly. It was just so surreal. Like, it was not something I expected to happen. When I submitted the application, I was like, this is going to get ignored. They're going to get picked up by, like, Alt Press or, like,
Yeah.
that KM Interviews, I don't know if you know him. He's, like, kind of popular-ish.
I don't know anybody from anything. I know you guys. I know... Everyone I know is somebody that I met from Babetalk, really.
I thought they were just going to get, like, picked up by Brian Stars for the 5th time. I
know Brian Stars. Yeah. A lot of Warped Tour stuff. Oh, fuck me. Oh, no, I know what it was. So in 2006, my current wife, also my past wife and I assume future wife. Her favorite band is Guster, and their leads, and they just put out a record. I think they just put out a record. It's 2006. And for her birthday, we both worked at the radio station. I sent an email to Guster's manager, and I was like, hey, can we do, like, we're a college station, can we do an interview with somebody from the band? And they said yes, and we talked it out, and then we did, and I surprised her. I had her come in the studio on her birthday, and then their singer called up, and we did an interview. But that was another one of those moments, like you had, James, where it was just really like, I can't believe this is just happening. Like, that this can just, yeah. I feel like if anybody just wants to meet a band, you just make a fake website and then tell them you'll do an interview, and then you can probably get access to them that way.
I'm still not convinced my band is real. Like, we haven't released any legit music, and we've been together for a year. We're just here for the memes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's it, man. The amount of fake bands that I've wanted to start in my head, mostly just to piss off promoters who, like, try to screw you on a deal. So then your real band drops from the show, and then miraculously this new band shows up, and like, hey, we can fill it. We can definitely sell 200 tickets to your stupid show. We can totally do that. And just show up and make a mockery.
Oh my god. No, it's just like the ultimate dream is to have like some Instagram famous metal dudes form a band and get popular, even though it's just him. And when it comes to a concert, it's just him taking selfies on stage or some shit.
Okay. All right, I'm glad Joy is back. Let's go to Brad, and then we'll jump into some topics. Brad, what's the most interesting thing in your life right now? If you say anything other than this podcast, you're lying.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited. I think I told you that I got tickets to the Mute Mass show they announced for their fall tour. They're like my favorite live band, so I'm very, very excited for that show coming up.
What's the you were in their DVD, right?
Kind of, yeah. They're like their DVD is in like their live YouTube set. Or live on YouTube, whatever.
Well, they like shot it so well. Like, it's the most gorgeous. Yeah. It's probably the most like beautiful looking live, recording or whatever. And then right there in that front when they're introducing the band, they like pan to the crowd, and you're just like taller than everybody else.
Yeah. I was so bummed because like I had that moment at the last song where I was singing with the singer in the crowd. He like came out in the crowd, and me and him were like dancing for the entire chorus of the last song. And they had the whole thing filmed, but they only put out like 5 or so songs from that album that had just come out at the time. And I kept like for like 2 years afterwards, like on Facebook, Twitter, like would every so often just ask them like, hey, when's the rest of the footage coming out? Like, you've obviously filmed an entire concert. I don't know why you wouldn't release the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then turns out they ended up losing the footage, like the hard drive crashed or something.
Jeez.
So they said, yeah, never coming out.
They were like, yeah. It was too much for you.
Too much.
You being in the video was just way too much. It just crashed the hard drive. You couldn't do it. Now there are a lot of bands who record, all this live stuff, and they don't put out a lot of it. And I find that it's strange to me because maybe they're just like, okay, if a hard drive crashes, that's one thing, but it's like, oh, the quality isn't good enough. But to me, it's like, if it's a live thing and it's it's all music that you've already released in some other format, it's not like that DVD is going to get a whole bunch of new fans. That's more like, to me at least, something for fans you already have who want more. And I imagine your fans are going to be a little bit more forgiving of, oh, maybe that's not I don't know, that's annoying to me when bands do that. Or you could have a Dangerous Summer situation where they did the Kickstarter, raised a shit ton of money for their live DVD, and then all that money pretty much went up their nose, if you believe the tales, which I do because for me it's tales from people who know them firsthand. They're from my city, but that's I don't know. I hate bands. Music is stupid. Let's talk about something else. No. So, Joy, can you hear us? Are you officially back?
I'm with you, Big Daddy.
Oh my God! I'll have you every week. That's the new theme for the podcast. I'm just gonna have that. That'll get me hyped up No, I'm gonna listen to that before I go into work every morning. Just you saying that on loop, and I'm just like, yeah, I got this. I can do this. I can achieve my dreams. All right. So, did anybody hear the Obama on Mark Maron's podcast this week?
I did.
I did not.
Yeah.
No, what?
Did.
Oh, you did? Joy, did you hear that, the Mark Maron podcast with President Obama?
Who the hell is Mark Maron?
This is what we're seeing now is a clear divide in communities in comedy. No, he's a what's the neurotic lunatic narcissist who I relate to on a lot of levels, and basically the short version is he's a comic who struggled forever, made a living off of it, but wasn't like always either through his own mistakes or whatever it was having trouble like really breaking out. Got sober in the early 2000s and started to actually, not burn every bridge that he went across, and started picking up steam. I guess 5 years ago he started a podcast at the realization of, oh, maybe this isn't going anywhere. I'm kind of like I'm never gonna like be as successful as I wanted to be, so I'll just keep doing this and whatever. And in the last couple of years, the podcast has really picked up steam, and he does it in his garage. And fucking Obama does an episode of the podcast in his garage, like, which is just the story itself is just crazy, because it's like, why else? Like, when else is that going to happen? Like, he went to the dude's garage. His garage.
Because y'all forget, because what it is, Obama black. He cool with that. It's in the garage. It don't even matter.
But what's amazing? Well, don't think that all white people are averse to garages. I think we love.
Baby, let me tell you something about white people.
Yeah, tell me something about white people.
I've had my first piece of white dick this year, and y'all keep that shit to yourself.
What piece was it?
Man, I've had my first white dick this year. That shit was fucking awesome. I was surprised. I'm still surprised. I moved from Jacksonville, Florida to Utah. There ain't no black people there. I had to diversify. Y'all motherfuckers was funny. I can watch and laugh hysterically all the damn time. I'm just saying. So I'm learning a lot about white people this year.
You know what? I'd like to learn. What else have you learned about white people this year?
Man, white people in Utah, white people in general.
Utah, because all these stereotypes are hurting me so deeply right now.
The white people in Utah, like the girls are so
You're right, they're so, yeah.
And that's mainly because, they're lost because of the whole Mormon mess. And
when you said in Utah, I was like, yeah, it's the Mormon.
Yeah, it's like you're in a whole nother world. When people told me you're going to move there, you're going to feel like you're not even on the planet anymore. Those motherfuckers was right. It ain't no place for black folks, especially not black folks like me. So I sit around and laugh at their ass all the time, and some of the stupid. I went to get a piece of pizza. That's what I went to do. And I think everybody know I'm Muslim. I went to get a piece of pizza. And I talk like this. I have a raspy voice. I'm almost 6 feet tall. I'm a big chick. It is what it is. And the guy said, I ordered my pizza. He said, you don't want any meat? I said, no, your meat's not halal, so I don't want it. I'm good with what I got on it. He said, well, there are no black Muslims. You're not Arab. I went, what the fuck? And he actually wanted to stand there and argue with me as to whether or not I was really Muslim because I wasn't Arab.
So, that almost takes some amount of knowledge to be able to make such an ignorant claim. Like, he has to be able to just go, okay, well, I'm familiar with the world's most popular religions, and I'm familiar with who practices them. Therefore, that's it.
Apparently not black folk.
Yeah. Well, Utah sounds like a fun place.
Utah is an ass white. Man,
So, what'd you call it? A booger? What was it?
Booger wolves, I'm sorry.
Why is it, who would you describe as a booger wolf, and why is that the term?
A booger wolf?
Yeah, don't ask like I'm crazy. I don't know. This is my first
time. Flavor Flav is a booger wolf.
Who?
Flavor Flav. That's a booger. I would not let Flavor Flav smell my pussy on Sunday. That's a booger wolf.
God, that's awesome.
It just wouldn't happen.
Well, that's because that Sunday is God's day.
I'm Muslim. It's fine.
I'm nothing, so I have no idea.
But my point is, I mean, there's some white people that's cool as fuck. They're realists. They understand. They're not trying to assimilate, not trying too hard, be the ultimate wigger champion of the whole wide world. Yeah.
Are you talking about me in high school?
I'm just saying. And then you got some who's just like, hey, whatever comes, and you can take them any fucking well, and they ain't gonna just go all out trying to be something they're not gonna be. Then you have the wiggers. We don't even fuck with them. And then you have the ones who are concerned about their credit, their life, how they're presented, and no way, shape, or form will ever be affiliated with what they perceive black people to be. And those are the ones that are in Utah. That's 90%. And it's a trip. I mean, it's a real trip. So when you're somebody like me that grew up in New Jersey with 14 motherfucking brothers and sisters and worked at a prison, and you see these people, and it's like, yo, you don't really know what's going on. And they get offended because you say they don't know what's up. It's like, really, dude? I mean, have you ever had your car repossessed? Have you ever had to choose between your lights and your cable? Have you ever had to choose between lunch and toilet paper? I'm just saying. And some of them are like in a fall, and it's a trip. Utah's a big, crazy place, and I laugh all the time. I will laugh in your face.
Well, that's why you have to take trips to places like Jacksonville to
I have one more day in Jacksonville with the Negroes.
See, what's crazy about this is I talked to Marysa on her episode, and she has like almost the same life story.
Legit. Yeah.
You had your first piece of black dick this year?
No, man. I'm missing out. I don't know. Like you said, like you got your first, white dick, and I'm like, oh, I've had too many of those. I'm like, I gotta mix it up.
Baby, listen. When Tyler, his name was Tyler, he's at
Of course it was.
Naval Air Station in Lemoore, California.
Oh shit.
5'5", Kentucky ass, took his clothes off, his dick unfolded. Baby, I didn't know whether to burp that motherfucker or run. I'm shocked to this day. My pussy is still in ICU. White people keep the best shit for their self. Podcast, let me tell you something. I'm going to do a candlelight vigil for y'all. A 10K walk. So everybody knows the power of the white penis, because y'all been getting
Listen.
Every time I'm in California, I look for Tyler. Tyler, I'm coming.
Tyler,
coming
huge
back.
fan of the podcast. Yep. Oh man, if I titled these episodes not like, usually I just put the names of the people on them. If I gave them real titles, this would just be Tyler's White Dick. That would be the name of this episode.
You've got to get Tyler on the next episode.
I do. I need Tyler's side of this story.
His number?
Yeah, if you text, holy shit, if you.
That would be fucked up.
You're friends with him on Facebook. What's his Twitter handle?
I don't know. That's all I need to know.
If when I ask you for your plugs, if you say Tyler, I'm gonna lose my mind. Laugh says it all. See, I have other things I want to ask you guys about, but I mentioned, Obama on a podcast, and then we ended up on Tyler's dick, and so I don't know what of these other topics I have is where they're going to lead. But fuck, So I'm at such a loss because now I just want to ask people about dicks that they've had, and
you don't have enough time to listen to me and tell you.
Well, I don't know. Does anybody have? I mean, anybody have any good? Well, okay, Joy, we've heard yours. Does anybody else have any good dick stories? It doesn't have to be like sex. It could just be a general dick story, a genital dick story.
I don't think I've had any interesting dick stories.
Like
which
nothing.
Is really which is really disappointing. I think all the dick that I've had or seen have been normal.
Normal dick. Oh, you know what though? That's okay. That's okay. And you should still be able to sleep at night knowing that that's okay.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Well, there's a guy in my band who on our here's a dick story. My current band, first time we went on tour, we had just got a new guitarist like a few weeks before. He played a couple shows with us. We kind of got to know him. We knew he was kind of like, the day we met him, we went to a club and he got kicked out for peeing in the corner, and he was so like drunk that he was angry about it. Like he was like, "They kicked me out, assholes." I was like, "Well, what'd you do?" He's like, "I peed." I'm like, "Where?" He's like, "Yeah, in the corner." He was like, "That place is a shithole. Why do they care?" I was like, "Okay, fucking lunatic." But so that in the first couple days of the tour, he managed to get pictures of all of our genitals. He got me in a urinal. He got our drummer in a shower. He just walked up to our singer. No, he did not get our bass player. Our bass player is like 6.5 feet tall. You don't really want to mess with him. He got our singer because our singer just fell asleep, and he just kind of like arranged the sheets a little bit and took a picture. So this is also a person who Snapchats us his poop, his dick, just across the board, and anything like that. And then the other day at practice, he had his girlfriend at practice, and we had just met her for the first time. And in the middle of a conversation about dicks, probably, he just blurts out, he goes, "Well, none of you guys have seen my dick." And I'm like, what? This motherfucker had the nerve to talk to us like we haven't seen his dick on a daily basis. Just because it was very offensive, very offensive. Brad, do you remember, she almost said his name. Do you remember the guy, freshman year of college, who had the, who would make
mosquito?
Yes, the mosquito. He'd make different like balloon animal type style things out of his dick and balls.
Oh yeah.
Could you describe the mosquito for us?
What the fuck?
We all know.
Joel, you're about to learn something about white dick, or what white people choose to do in their free time, learning skills with. Yeah, Brad, can you describe the mosquito to us?
I'm sure you can imagine a mosquito's face. He's got the two big eyes and like a nice long snout or mouth, whatever it is. That apparatus can be easily recreated with a little creativity. And this guy would just create this monstrosity, and you turn around and there it was, just hanging out.
Yeah, just two giant balls for eyes, and then the pointer sticking right at you. It was it looked just as uncomfortable as it was beautiful. Do you remember any of the other ones he had?
No, that was the main one. That was
that was the closer. But like there were like two other ones that were just. There were some deep cuts. He had a couple of B-sides in the collection. I guess James is all that's left. You got any dick stories you want to tell, or no?
When I was, my singer is, so it's about my singer of my band. His name's Pat. He's like Asian, but he passes for Mexican, if that makes any sense. Yeah, he's Asian, but he's also Scottish, and somehow the genes made him look like he's Mexican or Latino. So we were all really drunk one night, just like kind of fucking around, and all of a sudden he's like he has a girlfriend, and he said to his girlfriend, "Well, it looks like Pablo's going to cross the border tonight." Pablo was his nickname for his dick. That's about all I got.
That's beautiful. That's just good. Yeah, I've never been the type to name my own genitals. I know a lot of people do that. Brad, you say no?
No.
But I feel like you've named your like pecs before, maybe biceps.
I've named my car, not my genitals.
Close enough. Ladies of today's podcast, do either of you have names for your genitals at any point?
No.
All right, well then we're all relatively normal, or we're just weird as shit. Oh wait, Joyce has to cut the video real quick because something needs to be said.
No.
No. So as I was before, as we Jesus Christ, before we were, I knew everyone who was going to be on the podcast. I knew it was going to be Marysa and Joy. I was coming up with just topics for the podcast today. We got to none of them, which is good. But I thought of, there was a point where I thought it might end up just being me and then an all-female panel. And I thought of what I thought was a pretty good, like, Ollie G style question, where I just like reach for my notes and go, all right, so what do you think about women shit?
Women shitting or women?
No, just an ignorant way of saying feminist issues. Women shit, right? Talk with an open mind and an open heart. Let's check our privilege at the door and talk some women shit.
Okay.
Okay. So I love my comics. They're like, all right, fine. I don't give a fuck how you say it. Let's just do it.
You know what's going to be the best listening to this is that this whole time that I've just been sitting here just listening to you, and every time you said my name, you said it wrong.
Damn it, I knew it! What is it?
It's Marysa!
It's just Marysa. And here's the worst part. When we did your episode, I was so careful. I was like, all right, tell me how to say it. Just tell me how to say it. And you're like, Marysa. And I was like, oh, good, because the Y makes me think it's pronounced a special way, and blah, blah, blah. But it's just Marysa. Oh, that's easy. Marysa. And then when I looked up your name, I was like, oh, there's a Y. It's probably God damn it.
I just waited. I was just waiting.
I figured when I said it once, I was like, she'll correct me if I'm wrong. I'll just keep addressing her by name all day. Oh my god. Yeah, you'll notice that even if your name is like Kevin or Jen, I usually don't address people by name because I'm so terrified of saying their name wrong. This is another thing I like about the guests that I have on the podcast for these group ones, is that once we do the one-on-one, we're at a point where like everybody I have on is totally willing to just fuck with me, which is what we need. But it's still, oh man. All right, so we got a few more minutes left. Let's go and do some plugs. And Jesus. All right, let's do some plugs. Marysa, could you tell us any places you're going to be? And I know, plug your Twitter, plug any other pages, plug your show again, the game show.
Okay, well, my everything is just my name, Marysa Mavrakys. I have a game show coming up in July 9th, called What the Hypnotics. I have a lot of different shows coming up, too. Like, in September, I'll be in Pittsburgh in Maryland.
Oh, nice. Wait, where?
I don't know if I'm going to be pronouncing it correctly, so if I'm not, please tell me. What is it, like Cumberland? Or
Cumberland. It's actually Cumberland.
Cumberland?
Yeah, so when you get there, say Cumberland.
Okay, well, that's where I'll be in September.
Cumberland, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. You also, if you end up having like a Facebook event for that, please let me know, because that's a show I can actually help you promote.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. And Joy, any plugs?
Yo, my list is massive. No, we're gonna shorten it up. Right, I am on Twitter under Allah's favorite because I'm still God's favorite motherfucker on the whole wide world.
That's your Twitter.
That's my I'm Allah's favorite. Everybody keep trying to buy it from me, but nah, it's never happened. Of course, Facebook, Joy Lane. I have my own. I own allahsfavorite.com. Also, my Veterans for Veterans page, and that's the trip for everybody. Yes, I'm a veteran, and yes, I'm a Muslim. Ticky, ticky, boom, bitch. I'm not trying to blow shit up. I'm black. My other Facebook is Veterans for Veterans Comedy. You could go on there and check out any of the comics who are on the tour for me. We are trying to do a big event in Greenville, South Carolina, back to school, Freak Fest. Yes, I said Freak Fest. Around August the 15th at the Crown Royal Hotel. $20 gets you in for the comedy show and the after party. We might do an ABC party, so don't wear no clothes. I don't know yet. I have to decide on that. But that's going on. I have the date in New York on July the 3rd at the Broadway Comedy Club, and I have the Ice House in Bakersfield, California on July the 15th.
Awesome. All right, James, plug your band, Twitter, any Babetalk stuff.
All right,
you want.
so first off, I'm booking this backyard benefit show in my backyard, July 25th. A bunch of really cool local acts are going to be playing it. It's going to
Where
be
are you
all
located?
day. I live in Deer Park, New York, which is in Suffolk County in Long Island. It's about an hour and a half outside the city. And it's going to be a bunch of bands, a bunch of free food. It's only $10 to come. You can also donate if you're not planning on coming. It's all going towards the Lustgarten Foundation for Pancreatic Cancer Research. More bands are going to be announced for it tomorrow on the Facebook page. So just look up Susie Palooza and you will be able to find it. As Eric mentioned before, I also am the editor of a site called Babetalk.tv. We do not only a podcast similar to this, but we have written reviews and written interviews as well as editorials, one of which that Eric is writing. We had to take a week off from it just because of some personal circumstances that have been happening, but it's honestly a fantastic read. Just check out the site. I play in a band called Cutting Ties. We're kind of on a bit of a break right now because we all go to the same college, and since we're not at college, we're all really far from each other, but feel free to check us out. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, Brad, you got any plugs?
Yeah, Twitter, B_Hartland. Instagram if you want, B Hartland.
What kind of stuff do you post on Instagram?
What's that?
What kind of stuff do you post on Instagram?
Just little pictures I see throughout the day.
Pictures. Okay, cool.
Just
All
little
right,
pictures.
sweet. Well, thank you all for coming on so much. For Brad, James, Joy, and Marysa. Is that how it's pronounced? Marysa? It's a very exotic name.
Boom. Exotic? What am I, a fucking bird? She's an exotic animal.
And on that, this is the Eric Tries Too Hard podcast. I love you all, and I'll catch you all soon. See ya.
See ya.